What's going on, guys? Today I got planned to do a main job on this 3406 B model Cat and a 379 Peterbilt. Y'all stick along to see how that goes down. I meant to say mains and piston rod rollers. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and drain the oil, obviously, and while I'm draining the oil, I'm going to go ahead and take off this cross member that goes all the way down underneath the oil pan so you can get access to take it off. And now once you've got your four cross member bolts out and out of the way, just go ahead and drop that sucker. It's not wedged on there, god dang. There we go. Drop that sucker and get it out of your way. Next, you want to rig up a 9/16 socket on about a 6-inch extension on an electric ratchet, and then start taking out all of your oil pan bolts. And be sure whenever you're taking all your oil pan bolts out, you leave one in each corner so it reduces stress on it. It doesn't bow or anything like that and cause a major leak on you in the future. Alrighty, now that you got your oil pan dropped down like that, you can come in here with your 9/16 socket still and take off your pickup tube bolts. There's two there on this like Y hanger deal. Then you can take off your two return tube bolts. And then from there, you're gonna have to take off the stiffener plate, which you can see the bolts everywhere. There's some there, a couple up there that are hidden behind those tubes, good stuff like that. Now that you got your drain tube, pickup tube removed, you wanna go ahead and move your stiffener plate bolts. And you wanna follow the same concept as you did on the oil pan. Leave 4 in each corner so it doesn't put stress on the plate. I went ahead and slid that greasy bastard out of the way, but keep in mind whenever you finish taking out all those retainer bolts, the last two that you decide and what side you decide to drop first, there is going to be a little bit of residual oil chilling on top of that plate. My apologies, guys. I forgot to pick up the camera when I was dropping the actual plate itself because it got a little messy, and I had to use the floor jack to help hold that 3/4 inch plate up. But it is out. It's over there. But anyways, here's what you'll be looking at. There's your oil pump up front, and then these are your main bearings, and then your crankshaft bearings. These are the mains and then crankshaft bearings, as you can see your crank right here. And then the bottom of your piston is straight up there, and then the connecting rods. Okay, I think I said I was just doing mains in the beginning of this video. I forgot to mention that I'm doing the connecting rod roller bearings too. So I'm on to that now. I already did 2 off camera, but so what you do next is, because I already did the 2 I have access to, now I need to bar the engine over. You have to get one of these specialty cat tools, and it goes down there in that engine port right there. You have to take that little cover off. I've already done that off camera as well, but it slides in there just like that, and then you make sure it's butted up, and then you get you a 1/2 inch breaker bar, ratchet, slip that sucker in there. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pause it. It's really hard to do that with one hand, but I got it in there. Now you want to bar the engine over until the next 2 connecting rods that you need are in line. Now that I've gained access to the number 6 cylinder and number 1 cylinder up there, I'm going to go ahead and snatch this one off and then show you all how to do the roller bearings on this cylinder. After y'all take those 2 13/16 bolts out and you drop your cap with the bottom roller, you want to take you a flathead screwdriver and then push on it the opposite way that you see that tooth right there. You don't want to push it that way because it has a locker right here behind this tooth. You want to push it this way around. I may even be able to do it with my hand if they're worn out, which these are. No, that one's pretty locked in there. But yeah, like I said, grab you a flathead screwdriver and just push it up and around, and then do the opposite, putting your new one in. I'll show you all that next. Now that I've got these out in somewhat decent lighting, you can actually see how worn these suckers are. can see the grooves built into it. Yikes. But I'm gonna go ahead and snatch these suckers out and then put some new ones in. You just push on this back side, like I said, with the top. It's the same exact thing, taking the bottom off. You just push on the opposite side of that little tab right there, and they'll slide up and out, just like that. And you want to make sure you clean everything off before you reassemble your new set. Now that you got your new one out, you just, same exact concept for taking them out, it's putting them back in. You want to line that tooth up and then slide it the opposite direction until it's nice and flush. Now I'll show you how to do the top set. Now that you've got plenty of assembly lube, sorry for the dirty camera guys, I'm tired of wiping it, I'm filthy, but you want to put it in the same exact way that you took it out. Oh shit, that damn piston fell down. I'm gonna have to pick up the piston while I'm doing that. Damn. Ooh, too far. Yikes. Almost went past the crank, but hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing here. Oh shit. That's fucking less than ideal. Bunch of goddamn oil in my mouth. That's yummy. But thankfully everything lined up and fell into place. You want to make sure your teeth and all that good stuff is in line. Now I've got to take off that oil pump and then in order to get to number 1 cylinder right here. Continue with your bottom bracket. Make sure that those little holes right there are in line with your pins right here. So for mine it's facing backwards towards the firewall. So now I'm going to slide it in, lock it into place, and then put my bolts back in. Now I'm going to drop the oil pump with those 3 bolts right there. That one, and then 2 on this side. Now that you got all your rod roller bearings in there, from all 6 of them, you can move on to your mains, getting these fucking tight bastards out that are the torque spec of Mach Jesus. And I'll just give anybody a little bit of clarification that doesn't know that's watching. The bearings that I just did are for your piston rods that go up into the bottom of your piston up there. The ones, the mains, what everybody calls it, are the ones on your crank, which obviously this is your crank. And these are your main bearings under these caps right here on each one of these. And if anybody's trying to follow my video at home, this is the part number of the bearings that I use. Is IPD. Now we're on to the mains, and it's the same concept as the rod roller bearings, except you got to take the 1 1/15 bolts out, and then the same exact concept. You got a top roller and a bottom roller that comes out with your cap. And y'all can see exactly how worn these mains are. I mean, it's worn down to the brass, and it's got major grooves cut into it, so it's definitely way past due on replacement on these. Oh, and I probably should have mentioned this a hell of a lot sooner in the video, but you're only supposed to put your slick assembly lube on this inside ring, not on the outside, on either side, bottom or top. And that goes for your mains and your rod roller bearings as well. Oh, and just a disclaimer, I said the wrong size on the mains. They're a 1 5/16 bolt. That's the bolt right there. Alrighty, I'm gonna start by torquing the rod roller bearings, and they are 60 foot-pounds. You can see right there, and 80 Newton meters. Alrighty, now that I'm under the truck, it is the rod rollers, like I said. So now I'm gonna continue on the ones I have access to, which is the number 6 piston and the number 2 piston. And we already started on the mains, as you can see. I had to get my uncle out here to help me on that. That is definitely some work right there. With that huge breaker bar, it is not an easy task. helps if you tighten these sons of bitches. God dang. Have the ratchet fucking loosening mode. That doesn't help. What the hell got knocked over? Oh well. And you also have to turn these 120 degrees, and that's 2 flats. I'll show you all that in a bit. That was just out of reach. And this is how you would turn it 2 flats when you're reading the book, and this is what it means. So you have it, when you have it to your 80 foot-pounds, you would look at it like a clock and then want to turn it 120 degrees. So let's say this flat and then this flat. You want to put a line on your socket here and then a little line right there, and then line up on your socket with this little line that you would put here, if that makes sense. And that goes for your mains and your piston rod rollers. Now that I've got everything torqued down to spec, I'm going to go ahead and throw my stiffener plate back on. Alrighty, I got my gasket all stuck on there. I'm going to wait a good 10-15 minutes so that red silicone gasket maker will cure good. And I put that on there just so it'll hold that gasket still when I'm trying to pick it up and put it into place under there. Alright, time to lift this heavy ass stiffener plate in there. God, this is not going to be easy. Oh wow. All right. Oh, come on. Get up in there. Oh. See, about this point in your job, that's when you want 2 people out here, but fuck it. There's a will, there's a way. By God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud. There's a will, there's a way. Fuck it. She's up there. With 1 fucking bolt. Oh. Goddamn fucking dirt. Oh. Come on. Lightweight. Fuck. Oh, don't you fucking bitch. Do not want to start now. Oh, you fucking whore. Oh. Yes, sir. Oh. Oh. Good. All right, now time on to the pickup tube and the other bullshit. Fun. Now I'm gonna finish sucking this plate up. You wanna make sure you help support the plate, not just run these 9/16 bolts in there too. Nothing will pull threads faster than trying to pick up a probably 60-pound plate with a little 9/16 bolt. I say 60 pounds, this damn thing's probably 500. The way you saw the way I was lifting that sucker. That sucker's 5,000 pounds. Don't let me lie to you. So, if you can see what I almost just did there, that requires a short bolt right there, not a long one. Oops. I don't necessarily know if you guys can see what I'm doing here real good, but I'm about to mount the oil pump next. I've got to invest in a good phone tripod / light bad. I need one of those horribly. motherfucking creeper. And just a heads up, if you think the fear of dropping your phone on your face is bad, try being a diesel mechanic. That fear will lighten up pretty quick. Thank God, I've never been so happy to feel a fucking thread start. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, my. That shit never gets any less terrifying every time. Don't you come out here, motherfucker. Fuck, and I put my ratchet way back where I can't reach it. God damn it. Oh. I promise here soon I've got the plans to get a GoPro and a good light where y'all can actually see everything that I'm doing. So y'all bear with me and be patient on my first couple videos. I promise the bad quality isn't going to be forever. But I'll go ahead and finish getting these 3 bolts in, and then I'll pick back up whenever I continue up with the pickup and return tube. And that's twice now I've played Bolt Cahoots. I thought that these 2 were going to be the longer one versus that one, but no, it's these 2 are the long ones, and then that one's a little bit shorter. Well, it's about an hour or 2 later. I did a big uh-oh. That's what slowed me down so much. I had to take the the stiffener plate all back off. I had it opposite. I had this side on this side. I had it upside down. I had to completely flip the damn thing. But now I'm on to the tubes. I almost skipped that part, but make sure you oil your O-rings before you slide them back in. You can see that O-ring there. And the same with that one. Before you slide it in, make sure you put fresh motor oil on it. And now I'm about to bolt those suckers down into those bolt holes. Wherever they're at. There they are. Alright, now that you got your return and pickup tube on and everything's tightened down and torqued down, you're good to put your gasket on your oil pan like that and then slap that sucker on. And then after that, call it a day. Well, that marks the end of today's video. To the couple of y'all that are watching it all and have made it to this point especially, I greatly appreciate y'all's time, taking the time to watch this video. And I hope y'all come back to see what I've got planned in the future and to keep working on these piece of junk trucks. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Until then, adios.